Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Rita. Hey there. Good evening, Mr. Redmond. Yo, yo, yo there. Just getting my mic situated. Having mic problems once again. Don't you hate when that happens, fellas? When you have mic problems, 1 2 1 2. Well, I had a great weekend. How about yourselves? How was your weekend, Rita? Mr. Redmond, I know how your weekend went, so you don't even have to answer that. I understand. Trust me, I totally understand. Good morning, good morning, Elo. Good morning to you. How was your weekend, Elo? Mine was okay. I got to see a great concert. Fred Hammond, Shaka Strong. Good evening. I got a chance to see Israel Harton, Fred Hammond, and Hezekiah Walker. And of all places, the casino in Hammond, they turned the casino out. You're welcome, Mr. Redmond. your older brother told me you part of the family now. I said, yeah. Hey, Reese, how are you, sweetheart? That's my daughter. Everybody say hi to my daughter, Larice Jones. Thank you very much. Yep. My number one daughter. Mm-hmm. Hey, baby, you still in Mexico or parts unknown? Or Tina Lindsay. What's going on, Tina? Ask me what I'm eating. Subway, of course. But I'm eating a tuna wrap. I'm trying to eat fresh. Mm. Trying not to get fat. Thank you all for joining me. Shaka Strong, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. Mr. Redmond, always got your back. Back home, she was only in Mexico for a weekend. Okay. The kids just released a new YouTube video. I'll make sure I watch it. Why do you always say my whole name? Sorry. Well, that's what I see on the screen, so I just assume you haven't changed your name yet. But okay, Tina, I won't say your name. Do I ever get tired of Subway? No, because they have different varieties of sandwiches. You know, they have tuna sandwich that I like, the chicken teriyaki, which I like. Of course, the classic one, which is turkey based, you know, turkey bologna and all of that stuff. So, and that's it. And I love Subway. I really do. They have different varieties of sandwiches, and of course, their turkey sub is not too bad either. It's not like the hoagie that I'm used to, but it's okay. I like it. So, because when I left work at 6 o'clock, I'm like, what am I going to eat tonight? Oh, Subway. It's always Subway. Except on Thursday. Thursday night is Chinese food. I like the Singapore noodles with shrimp. And it's spicy, so I like that kind of stuff. Spicy stuff. Baby. Baby. That's the Commodores. Okay, it's not working at all, no. Commodores. 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 Okay, one of these buttons going to make this mic work. One of these buttons is going to make this mic work real good. Anyway, while I'm fixing the mic, I'm going to play some music. These guys were like a one-hit wonder. Name of the group is called Delegation, and this is Oh Honey, right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind. Where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. If you try Soul Vegetarian wrap meals, it's good and tasty. I have, as a matter of fact, um, what's his name? W.R. Lillard's a big fan of that particular restaurant, so he's turned me on to it. But thank you, Shaka. I appreciate that. Be right back, guys. I'm back. Steve Edens, what's going on, Steve? Yep, I'm gonna try the Soul Vegetarian. I'm just not ready to go full vegan yet. Just like W.R. Lillard, he's like full vegan. You know, he doesn't do any meat. So, and he's 80 something years old. So I guess, hey, it's working for him. So I've never heard him complain about any aches and pains or anything. So it must be something to that vegan thing. Must be something. Okay, maybe my mic looks like it wants to work. Let me see what's happening. But thank you for the suggestion, Mr. Strong. I appreciate that. Yep, it takes a strong person to do the whole vegan thing. I'm not quite there yet. You know, not ready to give up. Right now it's just chicken, fish, and turkey. So don't quite have that discipline. Not yet. Once again, my daughter says she's back at home, only in Mexico for a weekend. Wow. Well, that's for the wedding. Okay, cool. Tina, how about you? Tina. No last name, Tina. Tina. Sweet Sixtina. She's Tina. Deborah Robinson. Okay. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Deborah. How are you? Thank you. She didn't want to comment, but she just wanted to, I guess, just pop in and say hi. I appreciate that. Thank you. Make sure you all share the video, please, and thank you. Yep. Share it with everyone. Everybody you know. Just share it on your page, okay? And who knows, one of these days I'll be famous. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Yep. I'm going to be famous one day. So, Went to my sister's funeral on Friday. Yeah, actually, there was um, a whole wake, and it was like a concert and everything. I mean, a couple of people performed. It was great. And I guess it was just preparing me for the gospel concert, which was Saturday at Horseshoe Casino. It was truly an excellent concert. You know, I can say I had a great time listening to some of that music. He was like, Fred Hammond said, I know I can't do all the songs in one night, so he cut them down. Each one of his songs were like maybe a minute long, minute and a half, so that we could hear the other guy's songs, Hezekiah Walker and Israel Houghton. Shout out to Ed Get Down Crosby, a member of the Hot Mix 5, for giving me the ticket. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ed Get Down Crosby. Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to go. And of course, you know, it being in Indiana, I could put some more gas in the car and keep stepping. So it was a great evening to be had. And I truly enjoyed it. It was great. Anyway. So what about everybody else? What did you guys do for the weekend? Where's the soul pole? Troy Anthony. I'm sure he'll be in here in a few minutes making us laugh. I needed that laugh what was it, last Wednesday? I needed that laugh because I was like on here crying. I'm like, man, you know, he's not here. Thank you, Troy. Yeah, I was like, man, it was it was a rough week last week, you know. My sister, Purvis Span, Mary D, just rough, I tell you. So, but thank you all for hanging with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you could share the video on your page, just where it says like, comment, and share, just go ahead and share it. Thank you so much. Okay. And especially the part where it says donations are welcome. Yeah, that's the main part right there that we want you to share, the donations part. So, but otherwise, I'm doing well. I hope you guys are doing well as well. Well, well, well. So, watching the documentary series Atlanta Child Murders, which you have an alibi for. Linda Collins, true. Gone but never forgotten. You're absolutely right. Purvis Spann, the blues man. Okay, let's see if the mic works now. No, still having mic problems tonight. Okay. Oh well, we'll keep going. Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories once again to Linda Collins Troop, Troy Anthony, Shaka Strong. Thank you. Tina, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm going to get this mic situation fixed before the end of the show, of course. All right, just hang with me. All right, guys. It's Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, with Shantae Moore, the first of two in a row. I may not be what you want, but I'm what you need. Okay, what's going on? Ugh. Mm-mm. Meanwhile, I'm switching the mic back, see if that will rectify the problem. So please bear with me, guys. Please and thank you. But anyway, once again, please make sure you share the video with your family and friends. Because like we always say, sharing is caring. It most certainly is. There we go. All right, let's try this one again. There we go. Linda Collins Troop. I guess I'll be seeing you Wednesday at Purvis Span's funeral. Wednesday at Apostolic 62nd, 63rd, and Dorchester. Yep, right before Stony Island going east. Okay, let's see what we got going on now. Oh, yeah. That's a little better. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, cool. It was the mic. It was the Dukes. Okay, cool. It was good seeing you on Saturday. Linda Troop, I appreciate you. Looking good as always. You and Mr. Troop. But once again, Troy, please make sure you share the video with your peeps. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Um, Not only Troy, but Steve as well, and everybody else who is on my Facebook Live. Once again, I really appreciate you guys, and you know, Oh, speaking of people I saw on Saturday, my niece Yolanda. Thank you for the Moscato. That was good. Yep, I was good and mellow on my way out to the where did I go? To the casino, of course. Yep, yep. Had a great time. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. You you made my day. You and Linda Troop, I tell you, you all definitely made my day, and I enjoyed myself. Boy, did I enjoy myself. I had a great time, and looking forward to the next concert. When is the next one? Well, but that whole day was great. Shout out to everybody who came out to the Dusty Record Day party. You know, Ray did an excellent job as always, imitating Richard Peggy. Well, he does Richard well, and of course I do Herb well. So both of them are still well represented, even though they're both no longer with us, but they're both well represented. Absolutely. Yeah. And who might be calling me? Somebody who isn't listening, probably. Yeah. Let's see what he's sending me here. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. All right. Cool. Yep. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. I'm just waiting to see what my niece is gonna say. How I looked. I look like Uncle Al. That's what I look like, right? Uh, Patrice Buster. Hello, Patrice. Celicia Thompson. I know her. Thank you again, sis. I appreciate you. Dear old Greg. Sing it, Teddy. Sound like Teddy singing the blues there. Weak for you. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring Teddy Pendergrass right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. As you can see, I got that mic situation. I had to change back to the other mic. I was, trying something different. And of course, the same thing usually works. Don't try nothing different because it always comes out wrong. Hello to Patrice Buster, also to Celicia Thompson, the daughter of Syl Johnson, and of course, Mama Brenda. Also, Deborah Robertson and my daughter, Larice. Daryl Gregg, thank you for checking in. I appreciate you, Daryl Gregg. And of course, Mama Troop, Linda Collins Troop. Thank you, Mama Troop. I appreciate you. Well, we're not that much different in age, so if I call you Mama Troop, Keith Denmark, how are you, sir? Anyway, like I said earlier, make sure you share the video on your page, especially that little part down at the bottom where it says Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer. Donations are welcome via the Cash App or at Zelle, which is my phone number, 773-519-1223. What's good, Keith D and Mama Troop? Also to Troy Anthony, the Soul Pole. Appreciate you, Troy. Troy was one of my students over at Kennedy King back in the day. Here's Shantae Moore. One more again. This is I Cried to Myself. It's Bedtime Stories. All right, much better. That's what happens when you try to change stuff up and it ain't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay. Anywho, once again, don't forget to share the video, people. Thank you so much. Thank you in advance for sharing the video. Celicia Thompson. She never did answer my question, but I kind of figure, the instruments will probably be divvied up between the grandchildren and the children, because I happen to know that Syl Johnson had an extensive collection of guitars. One of them in particular is this Gibson guitar that he had. Beautiful piece of machinery, beautiful instrument. I even offered to buy it. Like, okay, yeah, I offered to buy the guitar. I'm like, I probably don't have that much money, but but I think at least one of Syl Johnson's guitars should be donated to the was the Blues Heaven. Even though he didn't record for Chess Records, I think it should go into a museum somewhere. One of them, of course, not the one that I want, but one of them. And it's interesting because, excuse me, a few years ago I saw him perform outside at the Alderman's concerts. He had Alderman Joanne Thompson had like a 2-day concert, and Syl wrapped it up on that. I think it was that Saturday night. He wrapped it up, boy. I tell you, he did an excellent job. And of course, the band that was playing behind him was led by Dr. Willie Henderson, who did all the producing for Tyrone Davis's songs. I'm like, it don't get no better than that. Syl was in rare form that night. And then the last time I saw him, once again, You know it. Technical difficulties. Yeah. They needed you to play the drums. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, I was playing the drums yesterday, twice. There we go. I tell you, me and my technical difficulties, right? That is Black Ivory, and you and I, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Thank you so much. Yes, hello to LT, also to Mama Troop and Yolanda, my niece. Thank you for joining us. And also Troy the Soul Pole. Uh, Once again, make sure you guys share the video on your pages and ignore the technical difficulties as we have. As always, I tell you, somebody don't want me to get on the air. That's what it is. So, mm-mm. But the devil is a liar. I'm here. I am here. Shout out to my nephew. Shout out to my nephew Ray Neal. Saturday was the Dusty Record Day Party, and I was at St. Sabina. We had a great time. It was a great time to be had, and I think everybody had a great time. You know, we didn't let COVID stop us. Everybody had on masks. Well, at least the majority of them had on masks. I don't know everybody, but a few people did. Anyway, coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. And that's coming up in our last hour here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. There we go. Hello. And you should be hearing some drum beats there. Mm, there we go. There we are. All right, we're there. We are there. Yes, it was. It was very good. You know, and I have to say this. Um it's a fitting tribute not only to Richard but to everyone who came out who loved this type of music. and it lets us know that this is what we should be doing. We should be um, continuing to put this music out there. It's like with every song that Ray played, people remembered those songs, not only played by Richard, but others before us. So I don't think he played not one record, one new record, at least not while I was there. So Shanita Gayton, good evening. Oh, I'm sorry for saying everybody's last name because I got in trouble with Tina. So Tina, Shanita, how are you? I'm good this evening. How about you guys? With everything that's been going on around me, I'm just happy to be here. I really am. I'm truly, truly happy, truly blessed to still be on this earth. Like I heard once, it said, well, somebody's got to be here to talk about it. So I guess we are, you know, yeah, not the government name. I know, right? I'm good. I'm good this evening. Once again, um, I, I'm just happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. When I heard about this COVID thing and people were hiding in the house, if you went out, um, if you went outside, you had to have on a mask. This was back when I was still in Park Forest. Um, I mean, I was like everybody else. LT says coming back from Arizona. All right, Arizona. Um, once again, back then we didn't know. Um, I mean, you were hearing about people dying left and right, and it had not been like that since the AIDS epidemic. You know, Angela Winbush, along with Ronnie Isley, they were married at the time when they made that song. I think it's a possibility they were at that time. That is Hello Beloved, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life.com. Once again, hello to Mama Troop, also to Shanita. Thank you for checking in. And LT. This show is sponsored by Williams Inn Pizza, 2210 South Michigan Avenue. If you like pizza, they have pizza. If you like uh, chicken wings, they got that too. All of that you love, and at an affordable price too. And they're probably, I can definitely say this: they are a hidden gem in the South Loop, and it's black owned. Can I say it again? And it's black owned. All right, Williams and Pizza. If you want to order, you can. You can order online at williamsandpizza.com and tell them the doctor sent you. Queen Janine. Good evening, Queen. LT.
Spurs? Did you rent a horse here?
Yeah.
Don't trust your love life to just any network. T-Mobile has more number ones in 5G than any other network. You need a ride home? T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
That's right. That me. Once again, good evening, Queen Janine. Thank you for joining us. And as I was saying, let me try this. Okay, there we go. All right, there, nice and rich. As I was saying earlier off the air, when 2020 came, I remember this time last year, or I'm sorry, 2 years ago, in 2020, when they said you cannot go outside without a mask. I was still doing my routine, walking. I would walk, about a mile a day just to, kind of clear my mind. And this whole pandemic thing happened. And our then president was saying, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. It'll go away as fast as it came," and it didn't. And in the words of Maury, that too was a lie. And so many people were dying. You know, every time my phone would ring, it would always be bad news. And hey, Cherie, how are you, sweetheart? My sunshine. And it was just so sad to hear people just dropping dead. Like I said earlier, you know, it was it was compared to the AIDS epidemic. It truly was, because everybody that you knew, that you loved, they were just dropping like flies, and it was just devastating. 2020, I'm so glad we got that behind us. And here in 2022, half the country is already vaccinated. That's a good thing. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories with Basic Black, and you are, or I am, a special kind of fool. It's Bedtime Stories. Let me stop. Cherie's gonna think I'm flirting with her, which I am. Yes, I'm flirting with you. Yeah. But anywho, here's hoping everyone had a great day. I kind of know about Cherie's day, and I'm just glad you're among the land of the living, Cherie. I really am, and I mean that because like I said, we've lost so many people to to the Omicron and Deltacron and all of that crime, Comic Con, and it's like, wow. When that first hit, I was like, oh no, I'm a goner. They said anybody who had uh, a respiratory condition. Now, I was born with bad lungs. They had to, apply the suction cup to me when I was born. And They didn't expect me to live. I don't know if I ever told anybody that. Even LT doesn't know about this, but I wasn't supposed to make it through the night. But like the song says, I had a praying grandmother. And I guess a few days after being born, they finally, released me. And I finally came home. But I wasn't supposed to make it. With this whole, then the AIDS epidemic came and SARS and all of that stuff. It's like, okay. And each time I made it. I made it through all of this. We made it. We're all still here. And we're all still, relatively healthy. And we all made it through all of this. And, it hasn't been easy. It really has not been easy at all. So for me to be sitting here talking to you right now, I guess you could say I'm a walking miracle. I wasn't supposed to be here. Excuse me. And for me to still be here and to still be talking to you guys, yeah. Um, once again, Cherie said, yeah, I get it. I got COVID really bad in June last year, hospitalized for a week. The doctors thanked me for being vaccinated. They said I probably would have been on a ventilator. Now, for those of you who've never been on a ventilator, they have to stick a tube down your throat to help you to breathe. I was fortunate the second time that I was in the hospital. I've only been in the hospital 3 times in my whole entire life. The first time was 61 years ago when I was born. They said I was born with a respiratory condition. The second time I had kidney stones. That was the second time, but that was years later. And then I was hospitalized back in 2020. And that was for, that's when I found out that I had high blood pressure, diabetes, all of that stuff, type 2 diabetic. And I was like, I'm not trying to be dependent on insulin. I was taking the shot every night at 8:30 before I went to work because I was working nights then. I would get up and take my shot, take my shower, all of that stuff. And then one night I found out, Troy said I had the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie buried and survived. I had to eat some more Cadbury eggs and it cured it. Okay. Leave it to Troy to make us laugh. Thank you. But like I said, the second time that I was in the hospital, it was for that. And the doctors asked me, yeah, I am stable. The doctors were asking me how long I've been off my medication. I said, what medication? They said, for your diabetes. I'm like, who's diabetic? Me? Okay. And that's when I found out. I knew about the high blood pressure and everything else. But, I changed my diet. That's why you all always see me eating Subway. No pork chops, no ribs, no nothing. I don't eat pork. I don't eat sausage, bacon, ham, none of that. Chitlins, hog maws, pig feet, pig ears, none of that. Janine says it's nothing worse for a mom to see her child on a ventilator, and there's nothing you can do about it. My son went on a ventilator for 5 weeks when he was born. Same here, Queen, and that's why I can identify with James, because yes, I too was. It was either a ventilator or I was in the incubator. I wasn't premature. I was born, when I was supposed to be born, but I could not breathe. And my mother told me this story. They'd pretty much given up on me, but I made it. I made it to see 61 years on this earth, and I made it. So was it sours, whatever it was. That didn't take me out. AIDS didn't take me out. And of course, COVID didn't take me out. Even with all the different variants, I'm still here. I'm, still in reasonable health. Health-wise, I'm pretty healthy. I'm probably healthier than my father was at this age. Excuse me. Pardon me. And I was going to say, I attribute that to sleeping, because there's nothing more refreshing than sometimes taking a nap in the middle of the day. And I found out that's what it is. It's refreshing. It's it's what's up. I don't stay up all night anymore. I used to when I was younger. Oh man, kicked it, And now I don't have a desire to be out all night anymore. Knowing that I have to get up on Sunday morning and be in church, knowing I have to be at work Monday through Friday at 11. Ooh, not a big deal, but it's more sleep, So I think that attributes to it, and the fact that I drink lots of water. When I'm at work all day, it's like I keep forgetting to take my water bottle with me. I got this big water bottle that my daughter gave me, and all I have to do is take it to work and fill it up, and I'll be okay. Because water is a natural lubricant for your entire body. So if you got aches and pains and everything else, unless you have, debilitating disease, then water helps. It helps me, Napping is a lifesaver. You're absolutely right. Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, I'm sorry, Evans. I gave him a new name, didn't I? Whip Appeal right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you so much for joining us. Queen Janine, Cherie Yvette Withers Banks. Thank you so much. And of course, Troy Anthony on comic support. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Like I was saying earlier, all of my friends, were passing before my eyes. And I'm like, yeah, this whole COVID thing was just too much. Because I'd given up a lot of stuff. I gave up eating pork. Well, that was like maybe almost 10 years ago. I stopped eating pork. Now, with my first wife, she loved to eat ribs. Oh boy, she loved rib tips from Barbara Ann's on 75th and Cottage Grove. So I would send her a text. I'm like, what do you want for dinner? Do you want turkey burgers? Do you want fish? Or do you want ribs? She said, I want ribs from Barbara Ann's. So I had to get her a large tip, cut, you know, cut real thin or whatever. And we shared rib tips. Didn't know that the ribs were killing me. They were tasting good too. The ribs were good. It was just killing me. So I said, no more pork ever. I snuck some bacon one, but this was like a year ago. And bacon was just so good. And don't let anybody fool you about turkey bacon. It doesn't taste the same. Turkey bacon, turkey sausage. Shanita, Barbara Ann's was the bomb back in the day, and they're closed. And I would see them pouring that sauce on the. Oh man, I wanted to drink the sauce out of a cup. It looked so good. It would come out of there looking so hot. I'm like, oh, I miss my ribs. Here's the first of two in a row from Cameo on Bedtime Stories. Wow. Your brother put you up on Barbara Ann's? Oh yeah. Um, because see, Lem's always was crowded. You know, Lem's was always crowded. Barbara Ann's was crowded, but they got you in and out. Lem's, they'd like dilly dally and hold you hostage and everything else. But Barbara Ann's right next to the motel, which was Barbara Ann's motel. Oh man, I don't know why they closed. I don't know. I have no idea why they closed Barbara Ann's, but I just know that was some good ass barbecue. I'll say it. I'll say it again. It was some good ass barbecue. I ain't ashamed to say it. But it was just, Lem's had competition. Lem's closed down for a while, and then they opened back up. But and then Barbara Ann's closed altogether, right down the street from AR Leak. They closed. I was like, oh Lord, and that was it. And every now and then I will go past there and just shake my head. I would say, man, because certain places, you just want them to shut down. I wish that place was shut down. Certain places, yeah. I think I wanted Barbara Ann's to close down, so because it was bad memories, from the first wife. It was fun while it was lasting, but after that. Queen said, I was trying to think of Lem's a few weeks ago, reminiscing with my son about back in the day. Yeah. But Lem's, from the outside, it looked like it looked like an old McDonald's or something. Yeah. But Lem's has been around longer. There's staple on the south side, you know, like like AR leak. I guess they go hand in hand, you know. Get some ribs, die, go down the street to AR leak, and they bury you. So what killed them? The barbecue joint up the street. That's what killed them. You know, but limbs stayed crowded, and you know, I said once, I said, if the restaurant isn't crowded, then it ain't no good. Like I-57 ribs. I-57 ribs, they stayed packed. There was a store on the other side of the expressway. I don't even know the name of it. But yeah, it was totally different. Yeah. Yep. Ah, reminiscing about food. You'd have thought I was 400 pounds or something. You'd have thought I was 400 pounds talking about food. But yep, miss me some limbs and Barbara Ann's, I-57 ribs. Who else had really good ribs? And they weren't burnt. You know how sometimes the ribs are burned. You know, it's like, you know, ribs should not be burnt like that. You know, but like when you go into different places, you know, their ribs are tender. Why? Because they bake their ribs. They don't, put them on the, in the fire. So their ribs are different. They come out, tasty, like the baby back ribs, from Chili's. Um, you know, and dare I say it, Caucasians make their ribs differently. They don't put them on the, you know, in the fire and all that stuff. No, their ribs are different. They put them in um, one of those. What do they call it? Not like a steamer or something like that, but their ribs come out totally different than ours. They come out different. You know, they're all soft and juicy and tender, and then they put the barbecue sauce on it, and it's like, the meat is falling off the bone. Now, somebody turned me on to, they boil them first, okay. But what, um, somebody turned me on to beef ribs. I'm like, okay, beef ribs are, they're more expensive, but you don't really miss the pork flavor. But they're good. And beef bacon. I'm like, what is beef bacon? Beef bacon, of course, is the alternative to pork bacon. And I truly love it. The only thing is, you can't find beef bacon in every store. You have to pretty much hunt it down. You got to hunt that beef down. Beef bacon, you have to find it. And, my sister, for what was the last holiday we had before Christmas, Thanksgiving, she made beef ribs for me. She said I had to find them, bro. It was like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but she found them, and that was it. Now, of course, my cousin, she got the pork, but I got the beef ribs, and she ate them ribs up, boy, like a mad woman. So yeah. So, but everybody makes theirs differently. So, but the only the one that the only one thing is what I'm trying to say that we all agree on, and that is the sauce. The sauce makes the ribs or the chicken or whatever, barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs. It's the sauce. Because meat tastes like meat, but sauce, depending on what you put in your sauce, yeah, that's the difference. Now, being married, Janine said, living out here in the Caucasian neighborhood, they are not that good because you miss the smoke flavor. Yep. Whenever we get a chance passing through the hood, we stop at I-57 and get some ribs from the neighborhood. And you're absolutely right, Queen. They do theirs differently. You go to Chili's or whatever, they are. Troy said, first we invented R&B music, and we dominated sports. Now we're making better now, now we're making better barbecue food. You're welcome. Yes. Thank you, Troy. I tell you. Yeah. But, back in the day, you know, like they say, from the rooter to the tutor, they ate every part of the pig. They didn't throw anything away. Maybe if you let the record fade all the way out, Al, it might sound a little bit better. Anyway, cameo and feel me right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Troy Anthony is always making us laugh on Facebook. He said, first we invented R&B music, and we dominated sports. Now we're making better barbecue food. You're welcome. We're talking about ribs. How do we always get on the subject of food on our Facebook Live? Guys, you all need to join us on Facebook Live if you're not on. Once again, I'm Al Greer on Facebook. That's Al, Greer. And I tell you, and Russell, Jake and Bake, he agrees with me. I-57 ribs was pretty good. But like I say, if a restaurant is empty, you don't want to go in there and get food. There's a reason why it's empty. Because what's up, Tommy? When you go in there and it's empty, then it's like, that's a red flag right there. It's like, this food is no good. Why are you in here? But if a place is, they take a number and all that stuff, they got the number system and they call your number out and they take your order and they call your number again after your food is ready. And of course, you waited for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. You know that food is going to be good when you finally get it right. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to Russell Shaken Baker. Thank you so much for joining me on my live. And Tommy, yeah, but this time he's got a job. Tommy Williams, thanks for joining me on Facebook Live, and thank you to all of you for joining me on Bedtime Stories. Here's our friends from Memphis, Tennessee. These are the Barkays on Bedtime Stories. Tommy. Tommy, of course, went to school with my older brother, Marvin. Empty, keep it moving. If you have to go to the Lems line, you know it's on once you get in it. Yeah, I know. Yep, if that restaurant is empty, you don't want to be up in there. There's a reason why that restaurant is empty. Food no good. No good. No good. Um, like for instance, there's a Chinese food place on Stony. I know Tommy knows about it. Hoi Toi, or Ho Toi as they call it. It's spelled Hoe. Ho Toi. It's a Hoi Toi. But Hoi Toi always stays packed. You know. But the thing is, you never see any cats and dogs running around. You never see them running around. Hoi Toi. Here, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Pow. But the best, um, the best chicken that I've had came out of a Chinese food restaurant. It's something about the batter. That and the jumbo shrimp. It's something about that batter that they fry them in. And of course they use vegetable oil. So, it's not fat. But it's something about that breading that they use for the chicken wings and the shrimp. When they fry stuff up, it's like delicious. It is delicious, I tell you. But yeah, I don't know what they put in that, but and I tend to get their fried shrimp because it's the breading, it's the crust. It doesn't remind you of anything else. And you know who else has great seafood? Lawrence's. I wish I could get them to be a sponsor on my show so I can get some free food. But anyway, there's a Lawrence's over on 87th Street. And I never went there before. I always go to the one, on Canal, which, has been there for years. I mean, they remodeled it. They shut down for a while. They remodeled it, but it's the fish chips. Oh Lord, I started to get those tonight. I said, no, I'm gonna fight the temptations. Woo! Anyway, you want some fish chips, but I refuse to spend that dough. It's so good though. The fish chips, the shrimp. Some people say, "Oh, I don't like the breading on the shrimp." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Or the breading on the fish chips. I'm like, that's what makes Lawrence's so good. That breading is like, whoo, that's life right there. Y'all don't understand. That breading is the bomb. Bomb diggity. Yeah. And of course, they're open. When you get out of the club at night, yeah. Yep, when you come out the club, it's on. And so we go into Lawrence's and get some fish, some shrimps, some scrimps. You want some scrimps, baby? You want some scrimps? I remember Um, where was I? Who was I with? I was with my nephew, Ray Neal. I never will forget this. And we went into the restaurant. He said, Uncle Al, you want some shrimp? I said, yeah, sure. So we went in there and we got, well, I got my fish chips and he got his shrimps. He got 1.5 pounds of shrimp. I got 1.5 pounds of fish chips, of which we both devoured. I tell you. I mean, they didn't even have a chance. I tell you. And they were just so good. And while in the restaurant, I I saw this young lady, and he's like, "You're not gonna speak to her?" I said, "No, she left me. You know, she wasn't supposed to leave, even though I was a hoe. She wasn't supposed to leave me." So come to find out, it was Miss Bell. Yep, yep, and that was it. I refused to speak to her. Who knew later in life I would be married to her? I tell you. Funny how things work out, you know, Tommy? The only prescription is more cowbell. Needs more cowbell. I was watching this movie over the weekend. No, it was on Friday. What's his name? Oh, God. Christopher Walken. Love his acting. You know, it's almost like Christopher Walken is not acting in every movie. It's like he's just being himself. Someone gives him some lines and says, "Just be Christopher Walken." In every movie, he's just the same character. Oh, what do you mean? You know, I wish I could do his voice. His voice is so distinctive. You know, him and that's my other favorite actor, Nicolas Cage. Yeah, whose real name is Nicholas Coppola. He's kin to Francis Ford Coppola. Wait a minute, did he play a new song? It's not new anymore, right? Bruno Mars, Anderson Paak, Silk Sonic. Leave the door open. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, just ahead of Foreplay right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. What's up to Tommy Williams? Also to Russell Shake and Bake, Troy Anthony, thank you so much. Yes, the only prescription is more cowbell. Needs more cowbell. For those of you who don't know, you need to look that up on YouTube. It was a famous comedy skit featuring Christopher Walken, one of my favorite actors. It's Bedtime Stories, like I said, we're about 18 minutes away from Foreplay. But right now, from Milwaukee, the land of sky blue waters, it's Eric Benet and Tamia. I spend my life with you. It's Bedtime Stories. Hello to Terry from Gary. Hey, Terry. Mm-mm. Terry from Gary. Hey, Terry. I remember we used to, what was that? When Skype first came out, we were Skyping each other. Or was that Messenger? Yep. I tell you, those were the days. See, you work too hard now. I can never get to see you anymore, you know? You just, you graduated with Terry? Oh my goodness. How about that? Well, what a coincidence. You graduated with Terry? Wow. That is so cool. How about that? All right, Elo and Terry from Gary. Yeah, I miss my days in Gary. I really do. When I worked at WLTH, AM 1370. Small world, small town. It's Gary. So everybody knows everybody in Gary. Now, if I drop this name, everybody will know exactly who I'm talking about. Dinah Lynn. Everybody knows who Dinah Lynn is. She was Miss Gary, what, 19, whatever it was. I don't want to tell her age, but it was in the 1900s, right? But it's like everybody knows everybody in Gary. Marvin Lyles, see, everybody. Everybody knows everybody in Gary. If you grew up in Gary, you know everybody, you know. And I always thought Gary was just so far away. I'm like, oh Lord, I got a girlfriend in Gary, and I got to drive all the way to Gary, all the way to Gary. It's like going to the north side. There's no difference, you know. It's no difference. It's not. It's just about the same distance. If you're driving to the north side from the south side, you might as well go the opposite way and go to Gary. You know. Elo said, "Oh wait, wrong Terry. There are two, and this one is younger." Okay. But anyway, yeah, I was like, I thought Gary was just so far. And oh Lord, when I was in fourth grade, I was in love with this girl named Rochelle Bradshaw. And she moved to Harvey. And I just thought Harvey was on the other side of the world. I swear. I really do. I really. Terry, she doesn't know. But anyway. So, I, all these places, anything that was outside of Chicago, I just thought it was just so far. Oh Lord, Gary, oh Lord, that's what, 1,000 miles away. Like, no, it isn't. It's like right next door. It's like you turn around, you're in Hammond. I'm like, oh, okay. Like when I went to the casino the other night, I'm like, oh, we're already in Gary. Okay, all right. We're already in Hammond, rather. So, uh, I'm like, that's not that far. Uh, they always confuse us. Okay. Mm-mm. You mean there's more than one of you, Terry? Mm-mm. But I remember meeting a Miss Gary. This was a long time ago. And she came to the radio station to do a commercial. And I was recording her, right? and she kept messing up. So finally, she had some bodyguard with her. I said, "Excuse me, could you step outside for a minute? I need to talk to Miss Gary." And I did. Let me tell you, Terry, they closed the door, and I guess they were standing outside listening. And I dropped my voice down. I said, "Look, I'm from Chicago. You need to get this commercial right and stop playing. You think you cute and all that stuff. I'm from Chicago. It's like it's 12. I know 12 women off the top of my head that look better than you. So let's do this, okay? And then afterwards, we're going to go out tonight, all right?" She got that in one take. She was like, I am not playing. She said, "This man ain't playing with me." Ah. He said, of course not. There's only one me out. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yep. One Terry and one Cherie. Withers Banks. Yes. Just one of each, I tell you. But I remember vividly. It was like every girl that I dated in Gary, they were just special. You know, it was different from Chicago women. Oh, you kind of expected, Chicago women to be crazy, but Gary women, totally different. You know, it's almost as different as South Side and West Side women. I always have this saying: South Side women are stuck up, and West Side women will stick you up. Okay, but every young lady that I've ever met from Gary, they were special. And I don't mean like, they were crazy, that type of thing. They were just, they were different. They were a breath of fresh air. They were totally different than Chicago women. Rita, Elo, Terry. Yeah. And yes, I'm cleaning my ear on camera. But each one of them were different than Chicago women. South Side, West Side. They weren't bad. They were just different. you know? Yeah. Hey Terry, remember the Taste Entertainment Center? Me too. Mm-mm. Is that a fruit fly or something? Anyway, yes, I remember um, the Taste used to be like booming back in the day. Let me tell you about the Taste Entertainment Center. What a lot of people don't know is they used to have live broadcasts from the Taste. They would do, like certain nights, they would broadcast either on WGCI or BMX back in the day. Yeah. So they, you know, for a long time, they had phone lines running inside the DJ booth, and they would go directly to the radio stations. Yeah. Terry said, of course, I remember my sets. I mean, the Taste had an indoor water fountain, not water fountain, waterfall. It had an inside waterfall. It had everything. It was lights in the wall. It had that plexiglass disco floor. you know, it was cool back in the day. And they had this pretty good sound system. It was okay. Bobby Brown, and Tenderoni right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Saying hello to Terry from Gary. She said, I miss those old days at the Taste Entertainment Center. I remember those days too. I was at the Taste when I wasn't supposed to be there. I think I was underage and I was still going, trying to get in. I always had a heavy voice and, I keep hair on my face. Now it's like, I shave every day, but I would keep a little hair on my face. It made me look a little bit older. And the Taste back in the day had an inside waterfall inside. Yeah, that was something. It was the place to be. They had a big area where you could go. You could look at concerts. They would have the Ohio Players. They had the Dramatics there at one time. Lattimore. Mm. I remember being up there one night and Sugarfoot and all the rest of them were sitting at the bar drinking. Sugarfoot. And that was the first time I saw Sugarfoot. And it's like, I thought he had just had a big afro. He was wearing a wig the whole time. I'm like, dang, okay. Anyway, my brother, Dr. Al Greer, just ahead of foreplay on Bedtime Stories. Here's Dexter Wanzel. Terry. Mm-mm. Woo! Ken Wadlington, what's going on? We're good. We are good and glad to be here. All of us. So who do you all want to hear for foreplay tonight? Anybody got an idea? Terry, what about you? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? Scream. Hey, Uncle Marshall.
Yeah, check your email from me. I'll see if you got it.
Okay, I asked Melody. She said she wasn't going to do that.
Say it again now.
Melody said she wasn't going to do the resolutions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Now I can't put it up on the Facebook.
You can put it on Facebook, yeah, but
Sure.
She doesn't want it read at the funeral.
You sure I don't want to mad?
She's not going to be mad. She just doesn't want it at the funeral. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I asked her earlier, and she said no.
Okay.
Okay.
Say no.
It's her. It's.
I wanted to put it up on Facebook though.
I would, yeah.
Should you answer that too?
I'm gonna share it on my page. I don't. She can't stop you from putting stuff up.
Okay. You got it,
Okay.
It's on your email address.
All right. Cool.
Thanks for that.
All right. So, yeah. No, you didn't miss much. Ken said, Ken, you missed Al talking about how white people are awesome at everything. Oh, no. Ah. And Ken said, no, I didn't miss anything. Okay. Mm-mm. Ah. That's right. You guys make better basketball players. So who do you all want to hear for foreplay? Let me know right quick. Or I'll just pick one. I just love that song. Dexter Wansell from the album Life on Mars. Name of the song, of course, 1,000,000 Miles from the Ground. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, just ahead of foreplay. And of course, Bedtime Stories is sponsored by
South Michigan Avenue in the South Loop.
Big One. Okay. Thank you, Terry.
For the menu online, go to williamsinpizza.com or call 312-753-3108. 312-753-3108. Williamson Pizza and Sports Bar.
Metro has the best deal in wireless, so you can rule your day. Get
Juicy B.
access included for just $30.
Brenda Brown Long.
All on America's largest 5G network at no extra charge. Metro, empowering you to rule your day.
Portions of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer are brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile, empowering you to rule your day.
Bedtime Stories on WOSB Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, WRLN, the best music of your life. Hello to all of our listeners who came out on Saturday to the Dusty Record Day Party. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. It's time for foreplay. This group hails from Philadelphia. They played in every club and they knocked them out in every club. And then one night, the guy who was the drummer got off the drums and became their lead singer. They signed to Philadelphia International Records, where they got their biggest notoriety because of that lead singer who got up off the drums. His name, Theodore Pendergrass. When they signed to Philadelphia International Records with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, Kenny Gamble said, Hal, speaking to Harold Melvin, he said, Hal, this is your ticket to some money. This man can sing. He can blow. So without further ado, tonight we feature in foreplay Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring Teddy Pendergrass and Sharon Page, right here on Bedtime Stories with the peanut butter brother Dr. Al Greer. Saying hello to Juicy B, also known as Brenda Brown Long. How about that one, Terry? I hope that we can be together soon. Make it real soon. Well, I think about you, girl. I am good. I'm feeling much better than I was last week. Last week it was like rough, you know. My sister, and then Purvis Span, and then Mary D. You know, and who died today? LaShawn Pace, gospel singer. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That's just too much. But rest in peace, LaShawn Pace. Wow. People are checking out. And that's not good that they're checking out. You know, God is building him a choir. He needs some people and somebody to host it. That's all good, Terry. Thank you. Mm-mm. Terry from Gary. Is it all good, Terry? Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thought you might like those. They're like a fan favorite. You can't go wrong when Teddy Pendergrass is on. Can't go wrong with Teddy Pendergrass on. Terry from Gary. Yes, I'm eating the other half of my Subway sandwich. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Mm-mm. That's good tuna. All right, you guys. Don't forget to share the the pepper's kicking in. Peppers are clearing up my nose. Not that my nose was stopped up before, but you know. The Jardinero mix, which is truly in the mix. Mm. Mm. Much better now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'll be back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Whew. He's back. All right. Everybody's still here. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. Ah, my main man, Ken Wadlington. Thank you so much, guys, for, if it weren't for you all, I'd be just talking to myself. These four walls. You all are my saving grace, I tell you. I really love you. Yeah. The skill of my pouring. Uh-oh. Blue notes. Oh, I played that already. Ah. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Brenda Brown Long, did you bring me back a souvenir from Mexico? You went from Vegas to Mexico. Boy, you're a road runner, baby. Woo. Now that was a good sandwich. For love. Oh, you still in Vegas? Okay. Yeah, bring me back the keychain or something. I just love Vegas. It's one of the few cities that's open all night. It doesn't matter. Like 2, 3 in the morning, you can find something that's going on in Vegas. It don't matter. It doesn't matter where. You can get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, I think I'm going to go out. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Vegas is still open. That's what's up. Vegas stays open 24/7. When is Vegas closed? We don't know. It ain't never been closed. Even with COVID, Vegas still does not close. Which is a cool thing. I mean, if you ever want to go somewhere on vacation, go to Vegas. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, girl, you enjoy yourself in Vegas. In other news, I've officially been cleared in the Jam Master Chamber. You, sir, you, sir, are touched. La 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 la. Wrapping up fourth play. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring Teddy Pendergrass. Yep, I tell you. Searching for Love. That features Sharon Page all by herself. We lost her a few years ago, but great voice. She was like a featured singer with the group. Never made any albums on her own, but she was always singing with them. So, anyway, hello to those who are listening to us, of course, in Chicago. Those who are listening to us in Minneapolis, Country Club Hills, Illinois, Calumet City, Blue Island, Atlanta, Georgia, Fremont, California. Fremont. How far is that from LA? Also, DC, Romeoville, Illinois. You might as well say Chicago. Romeoville. Chicago Heights, Des Moines, Iowa, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Houston, Texas, Euclid, Ohio, and of course, wherever Troy is right now in Florida. Thank you so much for listening to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Believe it or not, here's Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, the same guy that brought you Bustin' Loose on Bedtime Stories. Chuck Brown and his Soul Searchers. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. No matter how you treat me, we're gonna give you up. So don't you think of leaving. Leaving. University of Minnesota, Minneapolis. Wow. Now that's what's up. Atlanta, Georgia. If I could just get Bobby OJ to listen to me in Memphis, like I listen to him in the morning, he don't listen to me. They're like there are like 4 black stations down in Memphis. Not that I'm thinking about going there, but if I had to, yeah. I mean, 4 black stations, K97, WDIA, there's 2 other stations. I think a hip hop and a all oldies station, or as we say, Dusties here in Chicago. And they're probably all owned by iHeart, knowing them. An iHeart radio station. Yep, iHeart owns everything. And I do mean everything. They own every radio station. They don't own me, though. I own me. Thank you. Yep. It's great to own your own self. But you said don't go in January and February to Vegas? Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay. But it's like it's really, really hot there. I mean, it's like a dry heat. I mean, a really, yeah, dry. And if you like to walk around barefooted or with flip flops, I suggest you don't because the asphalt gets hot. It was freezing in Vegas? Wow. Or in Memphis? Which one? I can't imagine it being cold in Vegas. Maybe, maybe maybe in Memphis, but man, I can't imagine it being Vegas cold and rainy. Really? Oh no. I don't know. I just can't imagine that. I guess when I went, it was like June. So it was like, it was like 100 and something. It was like 90 degrees at night. I'm like, good grief. I mean, when I say it was hot, it was hot. It was miserable. And like I said, don't wear flip flops You better wear some gym shoes and you know, hope your feet don't burn up. But Vegas, cold and rainy, I can't see that because, when you think of Vegas, you think heat, like 101, 102. I've never done it till this year, and I'll never do it again. Mm-mm. William Bell, I forgot to be a lover. I don't know what I was thinking about, I tell you. I forgot. Sometimes that happens, right? Guys, you're not supposed to forget, right? Remember that. You're not supposed to forget. I was talking about that tonight. Guys, you have to spoil these women. You gotta spoil them. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you want to keep her, you gotta spoil her. Anyway, we went from talking about food to now we're talking about weather in sunny Vegas. Terry Sams said, don't go in January or February. She said it was freezing. Now, somehow I can't imagine that. It being cold in Vegas because, when I was there, it was like 100 degrees outside. I never experienced that. 100 degrees. Good Lord. It was like 103 during the day. And at night it was still hot. Because I remember, being, we were on the strip. And I remember it still being hot during the nighttime. I'm like, it's still hot outside. When do these people go? When did everybody has to have an air conditioner because you just can't. You know, you got to have air in your car. You got to have air in the crib. All of that. You just can't just walk around like, man, you burn up. Spontaneous combustion. You just burn up. Terry says she went in the summertime. I'm like, I know it was miserable back then, boy. You got to go with no drawers on. I'm just saying. Terry said, I don't do weather. Well, I was born in the wintertime, so. And it ain't because I like winter, trust me. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Here's Anita Baker. With my body and soul. Yep, man. But I hear you. Wintertime in Vegas is like, I don't think it gets any colder than like 50 degrees, which is here is like a heat wave. 50 degrees in December, it's like a heat wave. If you do Vegas in the winter, you might as well stay in the shy. Really? Okay. I hear you. I hear you, Terry from Gary. 35 and woo, not 35 in Vegas. Good Lord. Mm-mm. That's too much. No. 35. Oh. Yeah, you're right. You might as well just stay here. If it's 35 there, because you're like expecting, nice weather, you know. And rainy. Okay. Would you say and rainy? Yeah. Woo-wee. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. $35 degrees and cold in Vegas. Don't sound good to me at all. Mm-mm. Now, where is it where it's warm all year round? Is that must be Phoenix? Because I know Mama P moved to Phoenix and she has not complained about the weather since, and she has not come back. She came back once. That was back in November is when she came, and even then it was nice outside when she came. And she stayed for a while, so yeah. I was there in January and February for 1.5 weeks, which reminds me of the movie 9.5 Weeks. Yes. Mm-mm. Wow. Wow. Who'd have thunk it, right? Warm before 4, 5, cold thereafter. Wow. That's crazy. That's some up and down weather for you. Oh, excuse me. Sounds like a Chicago day. From the shine, that's Brighter Side of Darkness and Love Jones. Right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Speaking of Love Jones, the movie Love Jones came out around this time 25 years ago. Does that make you feel old or what? And that song came out almost 40 years ago. Love Jones from Brighter Side of Darkness. The movie came out in 1997, March 14th to be exact. And it starred my girl Lisa Nicole Carson. She was in Love Jones. She was in Jason's Lyric. She was in Devil in the Blue Dress. And of course, Ally McBeal. And she was also on ER. She played love interest to Eric LaSalle, who doubled as the director of a couple of episodes. And they said she got put into a mental institution. She took 10 years off of work, and then she came back. She came back with a vengeance, because she was in the New Edition movie, and she played Ricky Bell's mama. That's what's up. Love that girl. She is just so fine, I tell you. Ah, yes, sir. Back to Al Greer. Here's Dexter Wansell once again, this time a little help from the Jones Girls, The Sweetest Pain on Bedtime Stories, with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Terry from Gary said, no more Vegas. He's not in the wintertime. Mm-mm. I don't blame you. I mean, you might as well just stay at home, right? Enjoy Chicago's terrible weather. Mm-mm. But today got up to 72 degrees. 72. I was like, good grief. Good God Almighty. Mm-mm. Ooh, it feels so good inside. Ooh. Yep, so much for going to Vegas in the wintertime. Unless you want to stay inside and bet, and gamble. So, yeah, it's different. You're staying inside gambling. If you want to go from place to place. Because I remember going there and to see Gladys Knight. Boy, she put on a show. And her brother, her brother Bubba ran out from the audience with his outfit on from 1973. He's like, I'm ready. They were like, Gladys said, we're not doing that anymore, Papa. What are you doing? We ain't doing that no more. He's ready. He's like, I'm ready. You're ready for what? It's like you didn't get the memo. The Pips broke up a long time ago. It's only Bubba by himself now. He's the only remaining member of the Pips. I was like, wow. He said, I'm ready. Did like an Eddie King. He said, I'm ready. I'm ready. Mm-mm. Yep, they were doing like a Sonny and Cher type routine. He was the buffoon and she was the straight man. He said, I'm ready. He had his suit on and everything. He was ready to go. He said, Bubba, we not doing that no more. You late. Like 20 years too late. We ain't been Gladys Knight and the Pips in a while. Ooh. It's got to be the sweetest thing. Mm-mm. Yep. Word to the wise, do not go to Vegas in the wintertime. If you're expecting good weather, you won't get it. Yep, you're not going to get good weather unless you go to Phoenix. They got good weather, or New Mexico or something like that. Closer south, it's warmer. So if you're looking for a warmer climate, then there you go. The CDC is now advising that once the fun starts, you should not stop until you get enough. Hee hee. Thank you, Troy. He said, don't stop until you get enough. Mm-mm. Once the fun starts, don't stop until you get enough. Troy, sir, you are hilarious. Mm-mm. Don't stop until you get enough. Hee hee. You will never guess who that was. Okay, since you won't guess, I'll just tell you. Wayne Brady and his version of Can't Buy Me Love. I guess he had the same idea that Lakeside did when they did I Want to Hold Your Hand. So they took a Beatles tune and slowed it down, and so did he. Can't Buy Me Love. That is a beautiful song. Once it's slowed down, it's like you get to hear every lyric, you know. Can't buy me love, mama didn't tell me something. Yeah, totally different. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. I don't know where Elo went. I think she went back to work. But Elo, come on back before you get too busy. This is the first of two in a row from Blue Magic. Here's Stop to Start on Bedtime Stories. The first time I looked at you, since that day, that's all I can do. I understand that I'm you, and I told you goodbye. Stop. So, Oh, look at the time. It's almost time to get out of here. When things get rough, here's what we'll do. Make up. I only stop. I only stop. I only stop. Mm, 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 mm. Good night, Terry. Thanks for hanging out with me on Facebook. I appreciate it. Hope to see you real soon. I hear Otis Mack's having a birthday party on the 1st. How old will he be? Otis is getting up there. How old will Otis Mack be? The heavy diva. Mm-mm. Night, Terry. Good night, Ken. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you. You are the man. I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you, man. Mr. Span's service is on Wednesday at Apostolic on 63rd and Dorchester. It's Wednesday. Let me send it to you now. Lawana, hey, better late than never. Got to get a better version of that song. Blue Magic and Tear It Down right here on Bedtime Stories. Thank you so much for joining us. Ken Wadlington, Lawana Trailer, LT, Terry Sams, Queen Janine. Did I leave anybody out? Just everybody. Thank you so much. Elo. Thank you, Elo, and also Rita, who was on earlier. Yep, the three Gary girls. Terry from Gary, Elo from Gary, and Rita from Gary. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Miss Delicious. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Who's doing Miss D's service? I don't know. That information I haven't gotten yet. So I guess it will be announced sometime this week. Because I would sure like to know. But once again, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all. Means a lot to me. Have yourselves a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, okay? Peace out.